Is this another hype video for a camera you probably just don't need, but it'd be really fun? Yeah, probably, but let's talk about it. So I think we can all agree that if you're a working photographer, photography is great. That's why we obviously got into it. But after a while, it can get kind of stale. Like, for example, I really don't take photos that often if it's for fun or if it's unpaid, because I take photos every single weekend at weddings. We also have a commercial company where we do headshots for people. We do all their branding photos. I just don't really do photography for fun. It's a job I love, but I just don't do it for myself. I've always wanted an everyday camera, but the Canon cameras I have, my professional working cameras, just would never cut it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a really big Canon fanboy. Like, I'm filming this on the EOS R5C. I started off on the Canon 60D, then the 7D, then the 60, then the 5D Mark III, then the 5D Mark IV, then the EOS R. Now for photos, we use the R6. So I'm a big Canon fanboy, but even bringing the EOS R6 to family gatherings, it just, with the 35, so it's a really small setup for professionally, but it's something about it just feels just a little bit too big, and I just didn't love it. And then there's one last thing that has stopped me, and I'm sure it's probably stopped you from taking photos of your daily life, and that's editing. As professional photographers, we spend a lot of time editing photos. The last thing I want to do on my free time is doing my job that I get paid to do. Then someone asked me if I've checked out the Fuji film X100V, and I didn't. They told me it was a small camera that can literally fit in your pocket, and you don't have to edit the images, and they don't look bland. Okay, well, that crossed both of those main things, and the third one, which is a nice bonus, off my list. So I'm intrigued. So I ended up finding one, drove out a couple hours away, and got my hands on one, and sweet goodness, this thing is so good. Like, it is so good. The reason I love it is because, number one, it's so small. You can take it everywhere. It literally fits in your pockets. Number two, the image quality is shockingly good. So you can use this camera two ways. You can use it the same way you would any other camera, where you're shooting in RAW and then you import the photos and edit them, or you can shoot everything in JPEG. And I know if you're a photographer, that sounds pretty scary, but the images look phenomenal and the colors look great. Why? Because they have what's called film recipes. So they have all the different film simulations, and then you can tweak everything to make it look like Kodak 400 or Fuji 400, or even for black and white, the Acros 100. It's got all the little features in there, so it's like the presets are built in here. My photographer friends and I have always talked about, why can't we have the profiles just embedded in the cameras, and why can't we import those? It's so frustrating, but now you can with this. I mean, like, they're built in, but it looks so good. Like, the color, it has this vibe to it. Like, that's the best way I can put it. It's got this vibe to it, and the black and white is just stunning. It's actually so good, I've even started using it professionally on wedding days. Like, I'll use this as my black and white camera, and people always see it, oh, is that a film camera? Then I get to explain, no, it's not, it's digital, but it looks like film, and I can shoot black and white on it, and it's like all the black and whites from engagement sessions and weddings have come from this, and it's got a really cool vibe to it, and it even just makes me shoot more intentionally. There's something about this just giving me so much joy as a photographer, and being a working photographer. I love my job, but like I said, I don't take photos for fun. This has made me start taking photos for fun again. This has brought photography, like that new feeling. Remember when you got a camera and you're like, wow, this is so cool, I want to learn everything about it. I want to take photos of everything. That's what this camera has done for me. All this to say, I love this camera. It's so good, it's tiny, it's compact, it fits in the pocket, the photos are amazing, it's fun to use, it's just made me fall in love with photography all over again. It begs the question though, is gear the answer? Honestly, most of the time, no. No, it's not. It's not the answer. You should be focusing on taking good photos, and I get how that sounds considering all the cameras I've bought over the years, and I'm talking about another camera now. But is gear sometimes the answer? Yeah. Maybe. Let's go with that. Yeah, because it's a fun camera. I love it. And if you get it, I think you will too. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.